Hey there, painted lovers, Jonathan here. So I thought I'd jump on very quickly, give you a progress report on my dressing room makeover because I shared it the other day. Isn't it funny how the smallest room in the house always ends up being the biggest job? So we've been working on this for, I would say, a good 2 weeks. We've been doing it on weekends, our weekend stints. But we're getting there. So we're finally getting paint on the walls. You can see. Let me turn the light off because it's not very... There you go. If you look up there, we've got white ceilings. We've added the coving or crown moulding wherever you're from. And the ceilings are done. That's had its final coat of paint. And we're now... good evening from Australia. Good evening, Australia. So we're now on with the first coat of old white, Annie Sloan old white that we're using on the walls. We've got this all the way through the house and it looks great. So the pure white on the ceilings and old white on the walls. And I've just started to, these windows are getting painted as well. They are plastic PVC, so I am using an adhesion primer before I use satin paint. I haven't got a clue which colour satin paint because the colour that I really want is not this, so I'm going to have a go at mixing satin paint. I want to go for something that's a little bit like Chateau Grey. I think I probably will mix Canterbury yellow, graphite to get like an olive tone and then mix it into canvas, which should knock it back down. That's my plan. I will share the colour at the end. Fingers crossed they will mix the same way into a big pot, and then the windows and the frames, let me come closer. You can see, there you go, all of this trim around the window, the sill and the frames is all going to be what will look like chateau-y grey creamy colour. I'm now on with the other window on this side. Lots of masking tape to do around the window frames and like I said, the adhesion primer. The only reason I'm using a primer, you wouldn't need to use a primer on the wooden areas with satin paint. The skirting boards and the trims, I'm not going to use any primer at all. It was a eggshell finish, water-based. I can go straight over with satin, it'll be fine. It's just that PVC, in the UK we have PVC windows. It's quite an oily, shiny plastic, so I'm using an adhesion primer, which I just picked up from the wholesalers. In the UK B&Q. So that should give it enough grip to take my paint because it's going on the shiny surfaces. I'll give you a little tour. Also, new addition, we've got a light here which was always here in old Victorian houses, and which this house is Edwardian actually. They used to put lights just by the window. I think that was to stop when you're inside, people can't see beyond. I don't know why. Answers on a postcard if you know why they always faced lamps to the window. So we had electrician come in and add another light to this room, which is now in the centre of that area, which is the dressing area, which is going to have clothes rails, a chest of drawers. So now we've got much needed light on the other side of the room. One here, one there. This is the study area, which I'll be using quite a lot, and that'll be the dressing area, so we can see in there. So that's what we've been up to. Also, whilst we was up in the attic with the electrician finding where to place these holes for this, we came across this, which I thought was quite nice. I think it was on top of the water tank. It's just a bit of old board, which has got two nice and strong, good old wood. I thought that might make a nice, let me show you down there, you can see it. I thought that might make a nice tray if you put handles on it, or a nice sign for a wall. Probably a little project for me to do, maybe with the IOD paint inlays or transfers, I'm not sure. Something like that, a lovely little interior project. I might hand paint something on it, I don't know. So that's where we're at. I'll give you a bit of a scan. It's hard to show you because it is a small room. But there you go, moulding at the top, the two divides now. I'll come over here, come right in the corner, you can see the other side of the room. Lovely new lights. We stole these lights from somewhere else in the house. The previous owner had these lights at the other end of the house. We've put fancy pantsy lights at the other end. And we've put these lights at this end of the house. It was the servants' quarters, so we've kind of kept it all the same and the same colours as if it was stuck in time, really. These are kind of the period and simple. So the panelling's all got to be painted. The radiator will need its final coat. That is another colour mix. That's satin again with graphite and a little bit of Oxford Navy in there, and it worked beautifully. Although that looks quite dark, it will come up kind of like a grey anthracite, well, not grey, that sounds pale, quite dark, a dark steely grey. So there you go, that's where I'm at. Don't forget, there is a tutorial tonight, workshop makeover. I'm putting a sink into the workshop with an old sideboard. You may have seen the pictures. Be there. I will be there present with you. So any questions that you fancy asking me, don't be shy. Ask some questions. I'll look forward to seeing you this evening again on my live premiere. I will endeavour, once this is done, the house is more or less done. Like I said, I've got a lovely old bureau that I want to put in my office area. So that will be a straight paint. For some reason, I'm feeling flat colours all over the house. I feel like some of the pieces that I've painted that are quite elaborate, one or two of them will stay, but some of them are going to get flat colours, I think, because I just like with the old white, with Annie's wall paint, old white, I want to add just bursts of colours around the house in different rooms. And the trims and the window architraves and window frames, each room has a slightly different. In the hallway, it's Chicago grey, all the way through. Our bedroom is Chicago grey. One of the living rooms got canvas on the trims. So each room has old white walls, and then the trims and the window frames, because most of the window frames in the house are wooden, they'll all get a different colour satin paint, which most of them are done. One day I will give you a tour of the whole house and take you around it, but I just don't feel it's good enough at the moment for you guys to be seeing it in the state it's in. But I will do that once I get squared up. I'll be sure to give you a guided tour of Rosebrook, because that's the house name, Rosebrook House. So I will endeavour to see you this evening. Thank you for watching if you're just watching me wander around an empty bedroom. Well, it's not a bedroom anymore. Dressing room cum office. So there you go, new lights. It's really hard to show you. I'm sorry that it's hard. If I come up here, you might be able to see a bit more. If I go for a scan from the top to the bottom. So the idea with these studded walls that we've built was just to put an end to the dressing area. So when the clothes hang, you don't look into them straight away. Anyway, much love. I will carry on with my painting, and Mr. M is at work, so he's doing walls. I've got to do the trims. So I'm gonna crack on with the priming and maybe mix up a bit of colour and get some colour on there. So I'll catch you all very soon. Take care, everyone. See you later.